Good afternoon and welcome to the Virtual Cheese Awards 2020. We are showcasing the best of British cheese. My name is Sarah DeWitt and I'm co-founder of Virtual Cheese Awards and love to invite you to meet our two expert judges, Jo Mason and Tom Chatfield. Jo, would you like to just say a few words to me, please?
Yeah, hi, I'm Jo Mason and I studied food science at university and then spent 25 years working, the last 25 years, working in the artisan cheese sector, which has been a real privilege. So I've worked with lots of the small makers and some big ones in this country and across Europe. And it's been really interesting and you never stop learning. So yeah, that's me.
Thank you. And Tom?
Yeah, so I'm Tom Chatfield. I spent the last decade or so selling English cheese around the world and mostly cheddars. And during that time, I also had a good bit of opportunity to judge at various competitions and visit some cheesemakers and even do a little bit of cheese making along the way and cheese grading. And nowadays I run an import business, European fine cheese.
Thank you very much. So the class that is going to be judged is the best of Buffalo hard cheese, artisan style. And just so you know how the judges are scoring, they are scoring against a six different attributes which have up to a score of 10 each. So there's a total of 60 points, and the cheese with the most points wins. Simple as that. So thank you very much, guys, and we'll sit back and watch you in action.
Thanks, Sarah.
So we've two in this class, and the first one is a lovely firm cheese.
Yeah, 168.
Yeah.
So as far as appearance, yeah, I mean, sort of nice and clean and even, and yeah.
There's nothing negative about that at all.
Right. So we're going sort of 8.
Yeah, that's fine.
An aroma.
There's sweetness there, which is really nice, actually.
Mm. Yeah, feels like that speaks to the buffalo milk quite well.
Yeah, it's clean.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's not complex, but you know, it's actually, whilst yeah, it's a hard cheese class. It's almost like a semi-hard, isn't it? It's
yeah.
Yeah.
Right. And actually, I think that both of these are a bit more like that.
Mm.
Yeah, so an 8 on aroma.
Yeah. Yeah. So the flavour is quite delicate. There's not a huge amount of character there. There's a lovely sweetness in it. But I do get a tiny bit of bitterness, I think, at the end.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and there's a bit of that sort of drying edge for me.
Yes. Yeah. So actually, I mean, if you were to eat it with other things, that would probably mask that bit of bitterness, but you'd still get the sweetness coming through. You still get that lovely sort of dense. It's quite a solid cheesy flavour, isn't it?
Yeah. Yeah, and I feel like buffalo milk tends to be a little more kind of edgy in certain respects.
But I think because, yeah, it does have that end note, I think it's probably a 6 on flavour, do you think?
Yeah, yeah, I think so. Yeah.
Texture is even. There's nothing particularly negative about that at all, is there?
No.
As a hard cheese, I suppose I'm wanting it to be a little bit. It's a little bit elastic. So it's just a personal thing there. I don't think that is a huge negative. Maybe
No.
a 7 on 6.
Yeah. Yeah, agreed. I get a sort of slight mealiness there. I'm
Yeah.
not actually in this context. I'm not sure if it. Yeah, I think it's interesting. So doesn't sort of hold it back necessarily. Yeah, and aftertaste. So
it's not good. It's not hugely complex, and it's not got a long flavour particularly.
Right.
I don't know. What do you think?
Yeah, I think perhaps a 6 or a 7.
Yeah, 6 is fine.
Mm-hmm.
And true to character, maybe an 8. I think if you.
Yeah, I don't think doesn't fit a sort of obvious archetype for me. It's kind of doing its own thing and doing it pretty well. So
yeah,
I think an 8's fair.
Okay.
Okay, so that's 168. And 169.
This is an interesting format. It's it looks like it's been matured in a sort of a loaf shape.
Right. Mine's actually, I've managed to break mine up. A bit more
Okay.
clumsy, obviously, but
So again, slightly open texture. It's a little bit curdy.
yeah.
Again, more of a semi-hard maybe.
Yeah, and I'm noticing the is that crystallization on the rind sort of suggests maybe it was aged in backpack as well.
Yeah. There's a bit of free moisture as well that would back that up. So appearance, 8 or 9?
Yeah, I think a 9 perhaps. Yeah. I mean, I guess the crystals had a bit more interest. On the flip side, yeah, I mean, in an artisan class, maybe being backpacked is slightly less true to, but perhaps true to character would be where that sits.
Yeah, because you would get more complexity from a naturally rinded one.
Right. Yeah, an aroma, sort of sweet, milky.
Yeah. An 8 on aroma?
Yeah, I think so.
So the flavour, I mean, you've got this immense sweetness in there, haven't you?
Yeah. But it rather, I think, pushes out other possible flavours.
Yeah, it's quite dominating.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, that's where perhaps if it had a sort of rind, it might lose some of its moisture or lose some.
Yeah, good point.
But it's pleasant. There's nothing off there.
Yeah, so it's quite it's caramelly, isn't it? Which nice.
Right.
Do you think a 7 for flavour?
I'd be inclined to a 6, but 6.5.
Okay, agreed.
Cool. Texture-wise,
I just knocked down slightly for being a bit sort of curdy almost.
Yeah. Yeah, agreed.
But that's just relative to the class it's in, not anything inherently weak. So maybe a 7 or 8?
Yeah, I'd say 7, so 7.5.
Yeah, okay.
Great.
And the aftertaste, I thought, because you've got lots of dominating sweetness, you don't have an awful lot of complexity, do you, to sort of stay with you? Yeah,
I agree.
So nothing unpleasant, I don't think.
No, but it could sort of benefit from a bit more interest.
Yeah, agree. So maybe a 7 on. Sorry.
Well, yeah. So another 6.5.
Fine. Okay.
Cool. We've reached a compromise here.
And true to character, I think you get maybe that bit more sweetness in these buffalo cheeses, don't you?
Yeah.
So maybe a 7 on that.
Yeah. I mean, I think it.
You're going to barter me for half a point here.
No. Well, yeah, I think it could gain points by perhaps being in terms of artisan, more more sort of complexity, or maybe with a rind or something like that. So yeah, I think 7's fair.
Yeah.
And again, it's a class that, yeah, you obviously don't tend to see a lot of in the UK. So
yeah, yeah. It's
too
interesting, isn't it? People are making some really interesting new things. It's you know, what the cheesemakers are doing is it's really exciting, actually.
Yeah, it's very cool. So actually, yeah, we're on those scores looking at, so 169, the one we just tasted, being first, and 168 being second.
Sure, that sounds right.
Great.
Okay, thank you very much, guys. That's another class down, and some very good discussion going on there. It's all about compromise, and that's why we have two judges with opinions to share and discuss. So first is 169 and second is 168. Thank you for watching the Judges in Action, and I'd just like to inform you that we're going to be live on the 18th of July on our platform, virtualcheeseawards.com, and Facebook Live. We'll be judging the category classes, consumer choice class, and also Supreme. So I hope to see you there, and another big shout out to all our sponsors. Thank you very much, because without you, we could not hold this event. Bye-bye.